Here. Welcome you all.
Good morning, Chris.
Morning, Suresh.
Morning guys, morning one and all. So
Morning, sir.
guys, previously we have been discussing about this success factor suite. So what are the set of modules we have in success factors, particularly part of this training program? What are the modules that we are concentrating in the name of employee central, recruiting management, performance management, all that? And then later we started having an understanding of the product of success factors, like it comes with a core HR and talent solutions package, and it can be implemented as a standalone or hybrid solution where success factors is compatible with various other integrations. If you want to connect with any Java, Oracle, .NET, any other systems also, you can do that. This is what we have been discussing. And we spoke about the cloud, particularly what does a cloud model mean. So remotely hosting the data and accessing the data on demand whenever you require is what a cloud model all about. And that's how our Facebook, Gmail, LinkedIn, everything function the same way. And that remote locations where the client databases are hosted by SAP are called data centers. That's what we discussed. So we have 15 data centers where SAP is maintaining all the customer databases. In each data center, we have hundreds of customer database and few examples of data centers we have discussed. And then we spoke about the systems. So what are the systems we come across whenever we are working on the success factors projects is that we have provisioning and instance as the two different systems. So that two systems is what we have been speaking about at a high level. That provisioning is a backend system, which is accessible only by a certified success factors consultant. Client will never see that system. And what we do in the provisioning is all about just activations, not any configurations. And it is only 15% of the things we do in the provisioning, but very crucial things. Whereas instance system is the one, the front end we call, and that's the system where all the employees of the client will be logging in. Every employee will have their ID and password to log in. So that is the end user system, and that is a system where even majority of our project activities will also be there. So 85% of the project work, the configurations we do on the instance. So this is what high level we have been discussing at the introduction level things about the product of success factors, cloud model, how does it function, all that. And in our agenda today, we'll be talking about the implementation methodology, guys. The way how the success factors projects will look like in real time whenever you're going to work on the projects. So technical knowledge is what we'll get into slowly in the third session, fourth session down the line, we'll get to there. So before getting into the configurational level things, first you should understand the real-time process. How does the success factors projects happen in the real time? What are the stages of your project, all that? So that's what we get introduced in this implementation methodology as a topic today now. Okay. So before we go forward, if anybody has any questions, as I mentioned earlier, you can raise your hand. You have a hand raise option in the Zoom controls. Keep your hand raised so that I can call out your name and we can discuss your queries. Okay. Sounds good. So let me start with this topic of implementation methodology now. So every technology, guys, so any projects you deal in Java, .NET, any other technologies anywhere, that's definitely there will be a project implementation methodology, the way how the end-to-end starting to the ending of the project should be delivered, a sequence of activities, stages, all that. So in that, when it comes to success factors implementations, SAP recommends an activate methodology. This one as activate, SAP activate methodology is the one SAP is going to recommend. And in this, we have four important stages of a life cycle of a project. As you see on my screen, prepare, explore, realize, and deploy. These are the four important phases in which we see the project implementation going on. And to discuss about all these phases individually. So the first phase, prepare phase, is all about the way how the project management level discussions happen. In the prepare phase, we have no significance. As a success factors consultant, as a team, we are not involved at that early stage. That's the stage where the project management level people, like, for example, if IBM is IT company and Coca-Cola is the client. So the discussion between client and the IT implementation partner like IBM, whatever. So the discussions between them happen in that particular first phase of project called explore. Sorry, excuse me, called the prepare phase. So in the prepare phase, so first they have to decide about what modules are being implemented. So what countries are we implementing for? And then what are the languages we are implementing out of the 43 languages that success factors are supporting today, which languages to be implemented. So like this, the scope of the project is what it has to be agreed. Modules, languages, countries, for which countries we are implementing the project, and then what is the timeline of the project, number of resources going to be allocated, budget of the project. All these things are going to be finalized in the prepare phase. And then at the end of the prepare phase, once all the documentations, their agreements, signatures, everything is done, that's where the end of prepare phase, the consultant will be introduced. So now if IBM is a company, as IT company, so IBM will introduce its team to the client saying that he is Mr. Suresh. He works for Employee Central Project, Employee Central Module. He is Mr. Ashok. He works for PMGM module. That way, the introduction of the consultants happens in the end of the prepare phase, once everything in the management level discussions are done. Then from the second phase called the explore phase, the consultants will start driving the project, where the explore phase is in one where we start as a consultant, in which we do the requirement gathering. So explore phase is all about requirement gathering guys. So to understand the HR requirements of this client, say example, if Coca-Cola is a project, so understanding their HR requirements, how should we configure their success factor system. Second, also to understand what is their existing system, what are their existing pain areas, what are the issues they are facing in their existing process, how can we rectify them or fix them with the success factors solutions, how can we suggest a better workarounds or better processes for that. All these discussions as is, understanding the as is system and as is process, and how can we set up the success factor system also to enhance their end user experience. All that is what should be done in the explore phase. It's all about discussions. Explore phase is all about discussions, understanding, debates, taking the requirements, documenting everything, all that. So that's a phase that can go for around 6 weeks of time. Explore phase is something that can range between 4 to 6 weeks. So based on the various discussions. And by the end of explore phase, we have to confine what are all the HR requirements, and we have to take a sign off from the client on the requirements what are to be configured. So by the end of explore phase, once the sign off has been taken on the requirements what are signed off, we start the configuration in the system, and we come into the third phase, the realize phase, which is the lengthiest phase of the project. Realize phase is the lengthy phase where the configuration of the product and testing of the product by the client both will happen in the realize phase. Consultants to configure, the business to test it, both will happen in the realize phase, and that is the phase where it can go for 6 months, 8 months, long duration of all your actual configuration efforts are there. And in the realize phase, once you do the configuration, business do the testing, everything, and business is happy, then we can start moving all the configurations to the final production system, the live system, what they are going to use in the real time. So we move all the configurations to the final system, and we get all the permissions in the system setup, the previous employee data of the customer, which is present in their old HR system. If Coca-Cola is implementing success factors today, they should be having some other old HR system. So that old HR system, from there we have to extract and upload the data into success factors, a one-time bulk transfer of data. All their existing, say they have already 30,000 employees in their old system, pull all that 30,000 employees and load them into success factors as a one-time upload. So all such kind of cutover activities happen in the deploy phase, getting your final live system ready with all the configurations, employee data, permissions, roles and assignments, everything getting ready is where the last phase, deploy phases. This can again run between 4 to 6 weeks. Deploy phase, getting your final system ready. And once the final system is ready, then you can announce the go live. You can release the product to the employees of the customer. So these are the 4 different stages in which the project implementation happens in the real time for success factors. Okay. And realize phase, particularly when I say we are going to do configuration and testing, guys. So here you should be aware of the systems what we come across. So end of the day, success factors is a product, IT product, and IT application is what you're going to configure. So this path is what it will follow. Development system, testing system, and the production system. The first system, development system, is a place where we as a consultants will start our configurations. And that's the system where we almost work for 5 months, 8 months of period on configurations. So once all the configurations are done, we can copy all the configurations into the testing system. We have very easy to use tools actually to move the configurations from one system to the other. Using that, you can copy into the testing system. And this is a system where client will have the access and client can do the testing of all their scenarios, hiring, promotions, transfers, whatever they have given the requirements, all their requirements they can test here. Once they give a sign off that everything is working fine, then we can move again the configurations from testing to the final production system. And that is a main live system. That's where all the configs are going to be migrated, all the permissions are going to be updated. Tomorrow when the employees are going to log in, so what permissions employee should get, what permissions manager should get, what HR should get, all the roles and permissions should be set up. And then finally, we have the data uploads, where the data uploads is where I told you, pulling the data from the old HR system to the success factor system, all that should happen in the data uploads. So this is how you have the 3 systems that we come across in the real time in the projects of success factors, where this development and testing system is what we are using in the realize phase. We the consultants to configure and the business to do the testing, all that happens in the realize phase. The 2 systems are covered. Then once the testing system client has confirmed everything, now we getting the production system ready is what it happens in the deploy phase. Deploy phase is all about getting your final production system to be ready with all these things. That is how the project execution happens in a real time. Now, if you specifically concentrate here, these phases, prepare, explore, realize, deploy, whatever tech terminology we are using, end of the day, initially the project management discussions are happening, then requirement gathering is happening, configuration, testing, and getting the system ready. These are common any technology. Even you do a project on Oracle, you do a project in Java, .NET, any technology, it is common that these are the stages that we come across. What is the difference in success factors? When you specifically market it in the name of what do you say, activate methodology, and you talk about, so what is it different, how is it different from the normal implementations or normal other implementation methodologies of other technologies, is that explore and realize phase make a biggest difference here. Explore and realize, if we talk about explore, in which we say the requirement gathering is happening, guys, in this explore phase, you have generally in any traditional approaches, requirement gathering means a business blueprint document will be prepared. BBP is what we call business blueprint document. A BBP document will be prepared, which is a Word document that can be of 200 pages, 300, 400 pages of document with all the customers' processes, policies, their existing processes, what are the requirements that we have to fulfill in the new system being configured, lot of things. Company related complete processes, a huge documentation will be prepared. So that is something in every project from the scratch, the consultants will prepare a Word document, which is of hundreds of pages. Replacing that traditional approach, success factors comes up with some Excel-based requirement gathering sheets. Excel-based. That too, they are predefined formats that SF has pre-delivered. We just have to speak with the customer and fill all those requirement gathering sheets. And that are called workbooks. Configuration workbooks is what we say. So a workbook is the one that is going to contain all the different sheets in which the requirements have to be taken from the client. So here, this current document that I am showing you is an example of an employee central related requirement gathering sheet, which is downloadable from the SAP's official website itself. We can download these formats. They're all pre-delivered, in which now you have multiple sheets in the bottom. You see, multiple tabs are there. In each and every sheet, you can capture a lot of information. Example, so success factors being a HR system, you will definitely maintain the list of departments of the company. So what are all their departments in the project? HR, finance, IT, sales, manage, marketing. The different departments of the client is what you have to collect, and you will maintain in this. So for that, SF has given a predefined sheet in which you have to collect the data. So the names of the departments, the description about the departments, who is the head of the department, like that. A specific format of sheet is already given for your requirement gathering. This is a simple tabular format. But finally, now if their client is giving, say, 20 departments that they have in their company, so that 20 departments, when you have to create in the success factor system, there will be a screen. So on the left hand side, there is one more tab called department. If you go to that department as a sheet. So here, how does the department creation screen in success factors looks like? They give a standard screenshot. Once I open the system and if I start setting up the department, so this is the screen in which I define one department. So departments, if I have 10 departments, it's not just a drop-down list saying HR, IT, finance, just not labeled. So one department, if you have to set up these many fields, the start date of the department, some code, unique code representation for a department, name of a department, description of the department, head of the department, like this. You have to fill all these fields and save, then one department is saved. Like that, if you have 20 departments, 20 times this kind of a screen is what you have to fill, and you have to create the departments. So this is what we'll introduce to the client in the requirement gathering session level itself, saying that this is how a department creation screen in your system looks like. And here, now client can come up with changes. They might say, we don't want description field, remove this field, they might ask. They might say, make this head of the department as a mandatory field. Or they might ask to add one more custom field of any other field of their choice. Like this, require different changes they can ask. So all those things is where in the same Excel sheet on the left-hand side, all the standard fields are delivered here by SAP. What all fields are the standard fields you are seeing on the screen? They are all listed here. So here, these are the SF standard field labels. If client wants to make any changes, there is a column H called customer label. So whatever field label changes they want us to record, we can record them here in this column. And later on, we can refer to this document, and whenever we start our configurations, we can start making the changes based on this updates what we made. Similarly, the length of the fields, the mandatory conditions here, the field is mandatory or not, yes or no, every field has a mandatory yes or no. Completely, if you don't want that field to be seen on the system, this required is what you say it as no. So that the description field is what we are saying that is not at all required for the customer. They're asking us to remove that field. Like that, each and everything granular level, minute level, you can capture in detail in this Excel sheet. And if new custom fields are to be added, come down, and here there is a placeholder for one line item they give, but not only one. Even if you want to add 10 custom fields, 10 line items you can add, and add what are the new custom fields they are asking. You can record it here. So everything in detail, you can record it here. Tomorrow when you start your configurations, you open this document. According to this document, whatever are the inputs captured, you start configuring those in the system. That way, each and everything minute detail level that can be captured in these Excel sheets, which are referred as workbooks. We call them as workbooks, configuration workbooks. For every module you will have recruitment, PMGM, succession planning for any module, there will be a standard success factors pre-delivered workbook document in which the requirements from the client can be taken. So this is one of the important differentiating factor in the SAP's Activate methodology, the explore phase. Next is where realize phase. So how is realize phase making a difference is, normally whenever you are working in a project, say example, if you are given a period of some 8 months of timeline for configurations and preparing the project. So in that 8 months, generally what happens is almost 6.5 to 7 months people will take for configuration, and in the final last 30-45 days people showcase the product to the client saying that this is what we have designed, this is how it works. They try to demonstrate and give the system to the client in the last 1.5 month kind of. But in that approach, if something what client is expecting and what you have designed and delivered all these months, if it is not matching, the client expectation is not matching, then everything goes on toss. The time, money, everything is on a risk. So that's where SAP follows an agile based methodology. Agile. So agile based process is where you are going to deliver the projects in incremental way, and you're going to showcase the progress of the developments at every stage. Like you can divide the stages into different intervals. So out of these 8 months, every 45 days you can conduct a meeting with your client and you can showcase whatever is the progress. So once the project has started, you work for say 6 weeks, 45 days. Then on the 6th week or 7th week, conduct a meeting with the client and showcase whatever you have done all these last 6 weeks. You might have just done the very basic design. It's been just a 25 to 30% only that you're able to configure. Showcase that. So here the client will get a opportunity to look at what is the design happening. If there is any difference of understanding what client is expecting and what consultant understood, if there is a difference in understanding, that can be corrected in the very early stage, instead of we doing something else rather than the customer's expectation and later realizing that this is not what they want. So the early stage itself, you are trying to get the confirmations at every level. So now in this, whatever you have done, 25% of the configurations, client can have some feedback, some little changes. Some obviously whenever you demonstrate and showcase what you have done, there will be some requirement changes, little changes and all. You can accommodate that. You can record that feedback, come back to office, so make those corrections and work for a few more weeks on few more configurations. Now again, after 45 days sometime, you again go for a second round of walkthrough of the product. So by this time, the product might be 60 to 65% configured. Showcase that. Whatever is ready at that stage, you showcase that process. Again, there might be any feedback, any changes, something, record it. Come back to office, make those corrections, and remaining configurations also complete. And again, go in front of the customer for the final round of walkthrough. So now when the product is 100% configured by the third or fourth round of walkthrough, now you can demonstrate the end-to-end product. And now the customer is in a way indirectly involved in the project implementation phase. You are involving them in every phase, and now we are not keeping the testing to the end of the project. In between itself, a kind of testing they are doing. They are giving you the suggestions. If something is not as expected, we are correcting it. So there is very less chances of last minute surprises. So this is what an agile based process, the sprints and iterations is what we call. So in multiple intervals of time, you can showcase the progress to the client. So that is not only 3 rounds. If the project is going for a lengthy project going for 1.5 years, every 45 days, if you are meeting, you might get 8 to 9 rounds of meetings with the client. No problem. So it's all about your project timeline. You can design how many rounds of meetings we want to have with the clients once the configuration has started. The project management will design that plan that way. Finally, we release the product for the testing where client can actually log in into the system. They can do their testings, all that at the end of the project. So this is where a agile based approach called a realize phase level we deliver in the success factors projects. So these are the 2 key differences when it comes to the regular implementations in the real time. So explore and realize phase make a very big difference the way how the projects are handled, guys. Okay. So this is how the entire SAP Activate methodology of projects look like in a real time. So tomorrow, when you're going to do, when you are saying that you're learning success factors and you're going to get certified and all. So first thing, how does a project operate also is important to know, and that's what we are focused here. Okay. Any queries from anyone? Sounds good. Now, next thing is, let us have a look at the important websites. The important websites, what we should know tomorrow as a consultant when you are working. Important SAP websites from where different kinds of content documentations you get, that is important to be introduced. Even this document, the requirement gathering workbook as an Excel sheet that I showed you, from where do I get that? You should know all that. That's where we have these three important websites that you should be knowing as a consultant: Partner Edge, Customer Community, and Support Portal. So first of all, any of these portals, if you have to access, you should be certified. At least in one single module of success factors, you should be certified to get into these portals. So first thing, Partner Edge is a website where you will get all the documentations which are configuration related, the technical configures kind of a documents, what a consultant can only understand. That kind of documents is what you get in the Partner Edge. Along with that, even this Excel worksheets that I showed you, in which we can take the requirements from the client. So that is also, workbooks are also available in the Partner Edge. So config kind of a documents and the requirement gathering sheets, all such are available in the Partner Edge. First thing. Second, customer community. Customer community is a place where we, the consultants, and even the client will also have the access. Customer community level, consultants and even client will have. So client, when I say example, Coca-Cola is the client, which has 30,000 employees. So people who are having the access to customer community in Coca-Cola will be only the top management level, 5 or 10 max, less than 10 people. The top management level people in the client side only will have. It's not every employee. Only the top management level people in the client side will have the access to customer community. Obviously, there will be very less people. Obviously, there'll be very less people in that level. So what can they do is, so from the customer community, we can expect customer specific documentation, like end user guides, how to navigate in success factors, how to do the hiring, promotions, transfers, end user kind of a documentation is where you can get in the customer community. Second, that is a place where if client is facing any issue, issue in the sense, if the client is not able to find a particular feature, okay, if that is not currently available in success factors, and if they want to raise it to SAP that this feature is something important or good to add, they can give their idea as a enhancement request, whatever is the new feature that they are looking for. So that is what they can get it added in the system by raising it as an enhancement request. But they have to prepare a document. Why are they asking that feature? What is the benefit of that feature? They have to prepare a proper case document and they have to submit, so that if SAP is convinced with that, SAP will design that new feature and they can release it in the regular updates, like every 6 months, whenever new updates are coming. Whenever that update is ready, they can release it. That way, you can raise enhancement requests to SAP in the customer community. As a consultant, we can also do, client can also do. Okay. But every time client raised enhancement requests are given more focus. So it is recommended that you encourage your client to raise that. So you raise it, that's okay. Better that also that idea is also submitted by client. If they submit it, it gets a more attention that way. So that is the purpose of the customer community as a portal. Then we have the last one, support portal. Support portal is a place where if something is not functioning well, something what is expected is not functioning well. So in the support portal, we can raise it to SAP about some configuration not working. As we have configured everything as in the document, we have followed the SAP standard document, but still something is not working. Or something has been working from last 2 years, 3 years, the project is everything going fine. All of a sudden, there is some issue that we have started seeing. In such kind of situations, you can raise it to SAP and explain them what is the thing that has happened. So they can investigate, and if there is a product related issue, whatever is a workaround they have to give or a fix that SAP is going to deliver soon, all that updates will be given to you. If it is a config issue, it's not a product issue, it's a config issue that you are not capable of fixing it and you raise it, they don't support it. They clearly say that this is a config issue, you have to deal with it. If it's a product related issue, that's where they support. That way you have support tickets where you can raise tickets with medium priority, high priority, critical priority, different priorities. Based on that, the turnaround time will be also different. So this is where you have the 3 important websites at this stage that you should be aware of whenever you're working on SuccessFactors projects in the real time. So to access any of this, key line is you should be certified at least in one single module. That is a point. Yes, Sridhar?
Yeah, so in the customer community, whatever the enhancements the customers are raising, either functional consultant or proactively raising or customer, so which is something it is stopping to to implement the requirement, which is a product side drawback, which is stopping them to configure something, or
Yeah, any feature, any specific feature or a functionality they are looking for, client is giving you a requirement that what you say that that particular feature is currently not supported in SuccessFactors. We don't have such functionality to do that. That's where we can raise it as an enhancement request.
so that as a free of cost, they will take it as a suggestion and they will implement, right? If it is
Exactly.
going to help broader customers, they will take it,
Exactly.
right?
Right. It's not for one customer case. If it is really that it is going to be a feature that will support or that will be helpful for a lot of customers across the regions, then only they deliver it. So they
Okay.
develop it internally and release in the off-yearly upgrades.
All right. Thanks.
Sounds good. And here when I say to access any of these portals, you should be certified, guys. So whenever you're certified, you will have you will be issued with S user credentials. S user means SAP user. So an SAP user credential is what you will be given with. So that S user ID and password will be a very much useful for you to get into these kinds of multiple SAP portals and to access the different kinds of content. Okay, S user. So this is something we keep on using this terminology multiple times down the line. Remember that whenever you are certified, you are getting some S user credentials that will enable you to get into SAP portals. Okay. Now, next thing is we have to look at the system. Now let's get into the SuccessFactors system, the instance system. Let me log in. So here in the SuccessFactors system, whenever every employee, right from a peon in the company till the CEO, whoever has their own ID password, they can log in into the system. And as an employee, if I want to look at my own profile, so here I click on my employee file, I can go into this navigation, or here in the icons, my profile, view my profile is the third icon we have in the quick actions. We can go for that. Either of this is what we can go for. Okay. So when we go for that, so here as a user, whatever sections the user wants to update, like address details, national IDs, any personal data changes, as an employee himself to update and all they can update. So this way they can look at their own profile. So different sections of employee information are all present on the employee profile. As a part of Employee Central, we'll set up all these sections of information, and during the hiring stage, the HRs can maintain all these details. Later on, employee can also update these details. All that can happen. So this is the way where this is your own profile you're looking by going into my employee file and you're looking at. But if you want to look at any others data, any other employee data is where you can go for on the top, you can just search the top search area, whichever employee you want to look for someone in the name of David, search as David. So matching the name as David, how many people are in the system, all that system will show. Now there are 3 people. So I have one person, David Drew. If I want to look at his profile, just a single click, system will bring me his snapshot of his profile with high level information. If I want to get into the complete profile, here I can click on full profile on the right hand side. When you click on full profile, it will open up their full profile and their profile picture, there's different information, all that is shown. But when you are looking at others' profile, it depends upon the permissions that you have, what areas of their information you can check. So it's not that every employee can see all others' data. So now, currently, I am logged in as an admin user. Emily Clark as an admin user. That's why when I went to David's login, I'm able to see all his sections of information, even his compensation part. I'm able to get access to all that. But in the real-time system, it will be the permissions that we control, that when I look at my own profile, what data I can see, when I'm looking at others' profile, what data I can see, all that is something we will be able to control through permissions. But this is first to understand that we can also look at others' profiles by just searching their name on the top. System can bring you all the available people in the system. This top search area is very much useful. That way, you can go into your own profile by clicking on my employee profile, or if you want to look for others' profiles, just type their name and open their profile. Pretty simple. That's the first level to understand. Next. Here, excuse me. Here, on the right-hand top, you have an option called Proxy Now. Proxy Now. This proxy is a feature, guys, which will enable you to get into others' login. Not profile. I'm not just talking about a profile. Completely into others' account if you want to get in. Without even their ID and password, this proxy feature will help you. Now, if I want to get into the system in the name of a person called David. Now, David Drew is an employee I'm choosing. So now if I click on OK, system is going to show me David's login. I'm not even entering his ID and password. I've just given the name as David. Now system is going to reload and show me David's system. So here, I'm in the David's login on the right hand side. You see it is David. Emily Clark on behalf of David. That means it's not Emily's login, or it is David's login. Emily came into David's login is the question. Emily came into David's login is the point here. And now whatever data I see, now even when I click on my employee file, whose profile will open is David's profile will open. That means I'm in currently David's login. See, this system is showing me the David's profile. So that way, use account completely by proxy option, where this proxy option will be given only to super administrators in the company. General employees will not have it because it's a very sensitive feature. So it is only restricted to the super admin level people, and that will be used in such situations where, example, the actual employee has something pending in his login. There is some workflow request pending for closure, or some other activities pending on his name for closure, but that person is not available, like he might be on a business travel, or he's not well, he might be sick, he's hospitalized due to any reason. We can't wait for that person to come, but we want that activities in his login to be closed. So that's where administrators, some super administrators, can get into that person's login using proxy functionality. Anything that's something we have to do from his login, we can attend those things and we can come back. Again, just click on become self. We'll come back to the normal login. Now Emily is back in her login. Become self is what we click. That will bring us back to the original login, which is Emily's login. Again, that way, super administrators will have this functionality of proxy now, where you can get into others' profile and you can get into others' profile and you can do some activities as if they are operating it. But everything will be captured with a proper audit. So who updated it, when it was updated, whether the main person updated it or someone else proxied into his account and updated it, everything will be captured with a proper audit. That's not a problem. But that is one functionality that was given, but it will be restricted only to the super admins. And consultants can also have it. We, the consultants, when we are working on the configurations, we will also have it. That will be very much useful for us during our testing. Say example, you are configuring some workflow feature and you want to test that workflow feature. So like example, you applied a leave as an employee, you submitted a leave request. It is going for first level approval to reporting manager, second level approval to HR. So that way you have to play the role of an employee, manager, HR, all that to testing. So every time instead of log out as an employee, log in as manager, again log out and log in as HR, instead of that many multiple logouts and logins, proxy is a feature that will help you to quickly switch between the logins. Between employee, manager, HR, you can quickly give their name and you can switch off easily. So that is one more beneficial that we'll have in testing phase. With a proxy feature as a consultant, we can achieve a lot of testing. So we the consultants, and finally the super administrators in the company will only be restricted with the proxy feature. Normal employees will never be given with that. It's something we can handle through permission. So this is about, if you want to look at others' profile, is where you can search for their profile on the top and you can go and look at their profile with whatever information that is authorized for you to see. Whereas proxy is a feature you are going to get into their login completely, and it is restricted only at a consultant or admin level. Okay. Any queries over here? Yes, Rita.
Yeah, so for example, if I'm going on a leave, I want to choose someone else to act on behalf of me for a few days to clear up some pending things. So can I choose them as a proxy
That is
during that
different. Proxy is different. What you are asking is a delegate.
delegate option, right? Okay.
That is where here under quick actions, you have delegate my workflows as a button, the very first one. So in this delegate, I can choose, I can give a time period from which date to which date, I can choose a period and whom to be nominated as a delegate, I can give a person and it's save. So during that, if I'm going on 2 weeks of vacation, during my vacation, who should take care of my approvals, workflows and all, there is a delegate I can nominate. That's different.
Okay.
So they can only deal with my workflows only, nothing more than that. But whereas proxy feature is somewhere I'm going into the others login and do everything. Even I can update that employee data as a self-updated also I can do. It's complete full rights I get it. That is proxy. Okay.
Okay.
Next. Now in the previous slide as we, sorry, did you see this delegate guys? My screen, I guess it is paused. Click on this delegate here. This is how it is. You switch on, give a start date, end date, timing, and nominate a delegated target person so that during that start time and end time period, any workflow that is actually supposed to come to you will be redirected to this nominated delegate. That way. Okay. Next, as we have been discussing previously about enhancement requests. So client to, what do you say? Yeah, so clients, if they feel anything is not available, or even a consultant, as a consultant, if I feel something is not supported in SAP today, and if we raise an enhancement request, as I told, that will be coming in the updates, future updates every 6 months and all. Not only what we raised, lot of things what SAP is already planning to innovate, lot of things will be definitely delivered. And every 6 months in the month of May and in the month of November, we receive that updates. So in the success factor system, we find them under upgrade center as a tool. Upgrade center. If you just search with the keyword as upgrade, you get it. When you go for that, of course, this will be accessible only by consultants and admins only. Regular employees will not get access to this page, upgrade center. So all the updates what SAP has released will be categorized into 3 types: important, recommended, and optional. 3 types. First of all, 1 second. Give me a moment, Nilma. I want to open a page. Yeah. So all the updates what SAP is delivering, guys, will be of two types: universal and admin opt. This way, two categories: universal updates and admin opt updates. So universal updates are those that will be automatically applied on your system. SAP is going to directly do it. It's not, it's not going to ask for your consent or your approval or anything. It will be automatically applied. So anything that's cosmetic, which will not impact your processes configured in the system and all, which are only cosmetic, look and feel, a new navigation, such kind of things is what SAP will give as universal. And opt-in updates are those that will be listed in this upgrade center as a tool. In this upgrade center as a tool, these are all the opt-in. Opt-in means the customer can decide whether they really want that feature or not. So on all the opt-in updates are again classified into three types: important, recommended, and optional. Important means according to that specific country's legal localizations and all, that are important to update. Recommended is where you will really see a value addition. Either it will reduce the number of clicks the user has to do, or a new feature that was still till today not available, that is new feature getting added, such kind of things. Optional is where even you update it or not, even the existing one what you are using also, it will work as the same way, but some look and feel cosmetic changes kind of a thing might be optional. That way, three different types they give. Now, to update any feature, you just have to click on learn more and upgrade now. Click on it. So that will give you the description about what is this update actually bring in. So the complete detailed description will be given like this, and a small video presentation of what is the change on the screen, how is that looking like, that will be given. You can look at all this, and if you are okay to update, click on upgrade now as a button. That's it. So once we click on upgrade now, you need not stay here. You just click on upgrade now and come out of the screen, you go to some other screen, you keep working. So this upgrade will run in the background. So it might, some updates might take a couple of minutes, some might take 5 minutes, max 10 minutes. Any upgrade should not take more than 10 minutes. So that will be updated on on the user's email ID. Now Emily Clark is the person who is doing this update. So on that user's email ID, once the update has been successfully deployed, you will receive an email confirmation saying that this manage recruiting templates feature is now enabled in your instance. That confirmation email will be coming. So once you receive that confirmation email, now you are ready to explore that. So if you want to look at that, it is better you log out and log in back. Whenever you got a confirmation that the update is ready to experience it, once log out and log in back so that the new feature will start reflecting. And this update, what is being done is for you, is for entire company wide. It's not for one individual. Now, if we are updating this feature means all the employees of the system can start experiencing that new feature. It's not for one individual. It's a system-wide upgrade. And who will be doing this? Is the client side administrators, whoever have the HR admin team, they can do it right away. Or if there is a support team, they can give it to the support team. So example, there is a support team from Accenture who is working for this project. So the client can ask the support team to look at the updates what SAP has released, and whatever you feel that are good for our project, you only upgrade is what they give the authorization to the consultants, or else the client can themselves do it. So this is same like we update our mobile apps, guys. You get your WhatsApp update, or you get a Facebook update, or a Gmail update. We generally don't look at the description and all. We directly go and click on update button. But there also in your mobile phone, you go to your Google Play Store, Apple App Store, they give a description. What is this update going to bring? Some bug fixes to future previous issues, or some new features added. Like that, they give you a description. Same way here also, when you go under that, it is going to give you a detailed description of what is the upgrade. And if you are really interested in it, just click on upgrade. System will update it. You are not going to technically do any settings there. You just click on a button, system will make sure whatever features to be enabled, and you can start using that feature that way. So this is how the updates will be delivered and we can upgrade them. And every 6 months, whenever that updates are happening once in 6 months, SAP will release these updates first 1 month earlier itself in the testing system, in the quality testing system level itself, they release it. So we'll have 1 month of time. In the testing system, client can upgrade these features and see how is the change, how is it, is that really good for them or not, they can decide. After 1 month, when they're officially releasing in the production system, now by this time we would have already tested them one round in the lower instance in the testing system. Now in the production we are clear, okay, out of these 15 updates, so these 10 only are good for me, the other 5 are not required, we are already ready with the list, only those 10 is what we update in the production, that way. So in the quality also you have to go and click on upgrade button and test it. In production also same way, you have to go and click on upgrade now button to update it, that way. So it's not even mandatory to update everything in quality. Directly customer update in production also not a problem. It's up to them. But if you really want to test everything before you update it, you can do it in the lower instance and then come to the production instance, that way. Okay. And that 6 months, whenever they are updating, there will be a system downtime. So SAP will plan a downtime in the late night hours in the weekends between Friday night to Sunday morning. Most probably by Sunday morning itself, they finish it from Friday evening to Sunday morning. So they sometimes like around 4 to 6 hours of downtime is what SAP will announce, saying that on this date, in this time, there will be a downtime where your system might completely not work, or it might be very slow. At that time, there might be very slow intermittent connectivity. That's where the SAP is upgrading in the background. So that time is what SAP will publish well in advance. 45 days of notice SAP will give to the client saying that this is a downtime, please plan your activities. So that way, and that time, but next day morning, by the time you wake up and see the new features, new look and feel, if anything as a part of universal upgrades, anything is coming, that will be automatically visible. If it is admin not, you can, once you come into the upgrade center, you can see the new list of items that are delivered. Now in this, I can choose what updates to be enabled, what not to be enabled, that way. So that is how the upgrade center feature works. And now once we enable a feature, now all the employees, now example, my company has 10,000 employees. Everybody started seeing that new feature that I updated as a HR. I clicked on upgrade here. Everybody started seeing it. But there is a negative feedback. People are not happy with that they did not like the new look and feel, or something is not working as expected. Everybody started raising complaints. Then within 30 days, you can roll back your updates. On the top, view recently completed upgrades as a link is what you have. View recently completed upgrades. If you click on this link, all the updates what are performed in this system, you will have the list. So in this system, there are 4 updates performed in 2019. So generally, if anything is less than 30 days you have performed, there is an undo option. You see on the extreme right, there is an undo option. So it is available only for 30 days. Within 30 days, you can click on undo and the feature will roll back to the previous version. Whatever your employees are happy, you are again bringing back to the previous one. That way, within 30 days, SF will give you an undo option to roll it back. But beyond 30 days, you cannot. Once it is crossed 30 days, few features you still have an option to undo, but a consultant can do it. You cannot do it as an end user, as an admin can't do it. We as a consultants have to pitch in and do something, settings and the provisioning, all that, to disable that feature, that way. But majority of the things, once you complete 30 days of upgrade, then you can't roll it back, that way. So this is how SF has designed the upgrade center. And this is handled most of the time directly by the HRs of the company. If they need any assistance, they can speak with the consultants, the support team, whoever are in the project. So this is about the upgrade center, guys. Any queries, anyone? Sounds good. So this is our discussions for today, which is about the implementation methodology, important websites, then how do you look at your own profile or how you look at others' profile by searching, and how do you proxy into others' account, and finally upgrade center. These are all the things for today. And in our tomorrow session we'll gear up the things a little bit further, do some a little platform level config things, a basic plug and play setup things is what we have. That is what we'll get introduced in the tomorrow session. So slowly I'll gear up, guys, session by session. So to a platform level plug and play items, next basic config level items, then the next level config items, one by one I'll be scaling up in a way that it will be comfortable for you guys to cope up. Okay, sounds good. So this is for now. Let's again connect back same time tomorrow. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you and wish you the same.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Suresh.
Suresh.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Suresh. Thank you.